Hello, Raider Nation. This is Principal Simmons, and I'm so excited to be here. And I wanted to take the time just to say thank you for allowing me to be your principal, number one. But more importantly, have a very safe Thanksgiving Day holiday and break. Don't do anything that will jeopardize your livelihood. Please ensure that you have a great time. Enjoy this time, this break, refresh, rejuvenate, and get ready to come back in December, actually, and have a very strong close to a first semester. But I'm proud to be your principal. I'm proud to be here at Skyline. You all are rock stars, and just want to wish you all a great Thanksgiving. So eat all of the turkey you can, and have a great Thanksgiving.
I'm Katie J, and Skyline Scoop starts right now.
Skyline's JROTC program will be participating in the Salvation Army Angel Tree Project. This project allows our school to come together to provide Christmas gifts to children in need. We would like for the whole school to be involved in this event. You can donate clothes, toys, electronics, and shoes. Items must be new, unwrapped, and with tags. Please include the receipts for the items. Bring your donation to the JROTC Classroom, 129, outside of the senior cafeteria. Donations will be accepted from November 15th through December 11th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Martha Williams. I am one of the 3 instructors in the Advanced Social Science Magnet at Skyline. I'm a licensed psychologist. Mrs. Robinson is an attorney, and Mr. Wicker is also an attorney. We sponsor the Youth and Government program for White Rock YMCA, and we promote professions that will have you working with people in your adult life. Here's one of our seniors, Caesar, to give you a little more information from his perspective.
My name is Cesar Carlos Jr. I'm a senior. Throughout my 4 years in this cluster, I have learned an extensive amount of knowledge that has prepared me for college. I have been involved in the YMCA Youth and Government for the past 4 years, legislative. I have gone to both local and state conferences, and this is one of the best clusters I can say there is. As you can see, this is also a very good mock trial cluster. We have won various distinctions, and this is where I feel home.
graders, we're going to start off with a special shout out from Mrs. Cross. She is shouting out to her 4B ceramics class. They are the best working ceramic students that she teaches. They have great attitudes towards learning and are doing a great job helping keep the studio in order. And she wants to say thank you for being an excellent example of Skyline students. Now for Weather with Abe.
Hi, I'm Abe and welcome to Weather with Abe. Today is Friday, November 22nd. The high today will be 53 with a low of 38. That's all we have for today. Ready to catch us after the break for more weather updates. Back to you, Katie.
Here's today's lunch menu.
Today's menu will be taquitos, burritos, and chicken nuggets. If those don't interest you, there will also be PB&J boxes. For your sides, there will be jicama sticks, green beans, and a cherry crisp. To drink, there will be milk and juice. Have a nice lunch, traders.
Now for conspiracy theories.
In the year 355 BC, a Greek philosopher named Plato has been writing about Atlantis in the book Timaeus. It talks about how Atlantis looks like, the size, location, and the people who live. It's supposedly to be located in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with the Arzos Island, which remains in the highest mountain peak. It wasn't until a YouTuber called Bright Insight has made another possible location on Africa with the Atlantic Ocean, and it forms the shape of how Atlantis looked like in the BC time. In Africa, used to be a grassland, changed drastically into a desert area 5,000 years ago. So what do you think? Is Atlantis real or not?
Here's today's Martin fact.
Hey y'all, Martin here. Thanksgiving's coming up, so let's start things off with debunking a myth first, then a fact. First up is making peace with the natives. While yes, there were times of peace between the pilgrims and the natives, thanks to Squanto. However, after more and more people started to come to their lands, they started to...
I have to do what the Americans did. I have Flint too, so I'll make...
We're here to colonize you, Mushu! Wait.
Well, that. I would talk more of it, but that's a history teacher's job. Next. The president that recognized Thanksgiving was actually Abraham Lincoln in 1863. It was meant for kind of like a thank you for the Civil War victories, like one at Gettysburg. But that's it for this segment, Raiders. Hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving break, and I'll see y'all later.
Let's take a look at Trivia with Joe.
This event took place in 1612 in the seaside town of Massachusetts. It was a 3-day festival celebrating a good harvest. There they ate waterfowl and venison.
Let's head over to Mr. Lasby with some of Thanksgiving history.
Hi, my name is Michael Lasby. I'm a AP US History teacher at Skyline High School and have been teaching here for 23 years. Little plug for my soccer team. I'm also the girls soccer coach. We got tryouts starting December 2nd, Monday after Thanksgiving. So the first Thanksgiving, the relationship between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Indians. The Wampanoag Indians, of course, were the Native Americans that lived in the Massachusetts Bay Colony at the time. The colonists, the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Indians had a good relationship in that beginning, in the first year, which is what led to the first Thanksgiving. Part of that relationship was made better because of a Native American named Squanto, who was a Wampanoag Indian who had already learned English, so communication between the Wampanoag Indians and the Pilgrims was very, very friendly in the beginning, in those first couple years. So the first Thanksgiving only had 5 women that attended, and the reason was because the other ones died. There were only 100 people that came on that first Mayflower, and so it was actually called the starvation time, and so lots of the colonists died during that first year. The highest casualties were women. 78% of the women who came on the Mayflower Compact, or Mayflower boat to the Plymouth colony, 78% of the women died. There were only 5 remaining women at the time of that first Thanksgiving. So what did they eat at the first Thanksgiving? is not almost nothing as to what we eat at today's first Thanksgiving. So the food that was available at the time in that region of the country, their main food at the first Thanksgiving was venison or deer. They are, of course, along the coast, and so fish and shellfish, lobster and crab were part of the meal. Pumpkins, turnips, and greens were the main staples. The two that were most obviously missing were turkey and potatoes or mashed potatoes were not part of the first Thanksgiving. So the first Thanksgiving didn't become an official holiday until 1863. And so that was Abraham Lincoln who made Thanksgiving an official holiday in 1863. And so why did turkey become the main meal then was we didn't know a lot at that time about the first Thanksgiving. And the turkey was one of the most prominent birds in America. Can't find the turkey anywhere else in the world outside of North America. It was almost the national bird at one time until we decided on the bald eagle. So everybody assumed that the turkey was what they ate at the first Thanksgiving, and of course it just tastes better than venison or deer. And so that just was an assumption that was made in 1863, and it became the staple of Thanksgiving today. So my favorite dish at Thanksgiving is very, very traditional, simple green bean casserole. And that's because I've never been to a Thanksgiving that didn't have it. So I kind of expect it. I don't eat it at any other time at Thanksgiving. So it just kind of feels special. It just feels like Thanksgiving.
Now for Rapid Review.
Ocarina of Time was the Zelda series' first leap into 3D. The story starts with this talking tree asking a fairy, named Navi, to guide Link, your character, to him. Once arrived, you explore the inside of the tree, taking down the boss inside, and then your real journey starts. Your mission is to travel to a volcano and the inside of a fish to help solve the problems going on and defeat the bosses inside to gather all 3 spiritual stones. Once those are collected, you go to the Temple of Time, pull the Master Sword, and then you have to go to 5 more temples scattered across the world. The Forest, Fire, Water, Shadow, and Spirit temples to be exact. Each temple is full of puzzles, enemies to fight, and new items to collect. After beating each temple, you're rewarded with a medallion, and once all are collected, you go to Ganon's castle to face off in a final showdown with him. Beat him, and then the game's over. That's it. That's the game in a nutshell. Goodbye.
Here's your trivia answer. Let's take a look at today's A segment.
This November, the Defense Department celebrates National American Indian Heritage Month, honoring past and present American Indians who valiantly served the nation over generations. Prior to World War I, American Indians served as auxiliary troops and scouts for the U.S. military. It was in 1866 that the Army was officially authorized to enlist American Indians as scouts. The Indian Scouts remained active into the early 20th century. At the beginning of World War I, the Indian Scouts were deactivated. However, American Indians continued to serve. Approximately 12,000 American Indians served during the First Great War. It was during this time that the unique abilities of American Indians gave birth to the famous Code Talkers. Code Talkers transmitted messages in native languages that were indecipherable to enemy forces, and today are credited for contributions to the U.S. military intelligence community. Code Talkers were vital all the way through World War II. From 1941 to 1945, more than 45,000 American Indians served in the military, well over 10% of the entire American Indian population at that time. American Indians continued to serve in huge numbers during the Korean conflict, where more than 10,000 served. Of those, 3 were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. During the Vietnam War, more than 42,000 American Indians served in the military over the 20-year campaign. 90% of those were volunteers. Today, American Indians continue to serve in the military in high numbers, with more than 30,000 actively serving across the services. For more than 200 years, American Indians have and continue to enrich communities and strengthen our country.
That's all we have for today, Raiders. Be sure to catch up on all things Skyline by following us at Skyline Broadcasting. And to make sure you never miss an episode of your Skyline Scoop, you can sign up to receive more broadcasts by texting SKYN to 1810 to catch us every day at SkynetBroadcasting.org. I'm KDJ, and from here with everybody at Skynet Broadcasting, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
It's such a nice day.